Alright, so next up we're going to be taking a look at Super Saiyan God, Super Saiyan Vegito, otherwise known as Vegito Blue, our favorite unit from the 2nd year anniversary, has made a comeback for the 3rd year anniversary here. This time he's a ranged type. It's actually still pretty long. I always like to compare how long these kits are to the 2nd year of Vegito Blue, because I remember when I first saw how long this was, I was like, what is happening here? Yeah, his 2nd year anniversary version is still longer. Okay, just by a little bit. This is pretty long, though. So, he is a range type unit, but his strike attack is almost equal to his blast attack stat. Defenses are actually really high. 160k, 166k blast. That's really high. I'm going to compare him to the Red Frieza, who's also a range type. This Frieza has 248, Vegito's 242, and then Vegeta has 240 strike, while Frieza has 237. So he has higher strike but lower blast. And then his defenses are comparable. He has much higher, or not much higher blast defense, but he does have higher blast defense than Frieza. This is 166 for a normal sparking that's not a defense type, is actually really high. So stats are pretty good. Main ability is It Ends Now. Draw the Ultimate Arts card, God Final Kamehameha. So they're not calling it the Final Kamehameha, they're calling it the God Final Kamehameha. That's very different. Restores his own health by 25% and ki by 50. And then he gets 50% to ultimate damage on his main ability. Interesting. That is not part of the actual ultimate card, that is on his main ability. Okay. So his first unique ability is Ultimate Fusion Power. Applies the following effects to self when battle starts. 60% of damage inflicted cannot be cancelled. Reduces damage received by 40%. That's pretty good. It's only the first 50 timer counts of the battle, but 40% is actually a lot. Then he gets minus 10% of blast arts cost permanently. That's really good. If he gets card draw speed anywhere in this kit, that's going to be crazy powerful. Applies the following effects to allied tag Fusion Warriors, God Ki, or Future when this character is switched to standby. 20% damage and then 20% ki recovery. That's pretty good. Not really the main part of his kit, right? Where he's going to be, oh, this guy's a dedicated support unit. Where, like the purple Vegeta. Even though that purple Vegeta is a range type unit, I think he's classified as. His main role is still to be a support unit for that, for the Fusion team, for the God Ki team, for Vegeta family, whatever team you're running him on. This Vegito, though, this is entirely a secondary part of his kit, right? He's meant to be doing damage with this. Second unique ability is the power to rival a deity. Applies the following effects to self when this character enters the battlefield. Randomly draws 1 new card when you have 3 or fewer cards. Okay, so he does have pseudo card draw speed. He gets 70% to the next blast arts damage inflicted. That's only once for 1 blast card, right? And then he gets 15% to the next special move arts damage inflicted every time his character uses a strike or blast arts card up to 60%. I'm assuming that's going to reset. So if you stack this up to 60% and then you use a special move, I'm assuming you can just stack it up to 60% again. Applies the following effects to self once 25 timer counts have elapsed from battle start. It gets an extra 40% damage, and then he gets another damage reduction by 25%. So in between 25 timer counts and 50 timer counts, he has 65% damage reduction. That's pretty damn good. It's only a 25-second window, but if you time that right, your opponent has to know that you don't have that active, because this guy will easily eat a Rising Rush and live. So, you know, with the right equips, he'll be able to be a ridiculously monstrous tank. Regular strike card. The blast card is special move cost down. Actually, that reminds me, is that like Green 21? I think that is. She has something like that. Green 21... Oh no, she just gets damage with special move. Okay, but this is cost down. Interesting. I feel like I'm forgetting what character has that. I don't think this is the first character that has this, but that is very, very good. The special move is the Final Kamehameha. Deals massive impact damage and applies the attribute upgrade minus 30% to enemy sustained damage cut effects to self for 3 timer counts upon activation, and then cannot be nullified. Massive is good. This is good, but it's not crazy good. This is good too. The special skill is the God Smasher, which I believe we saw. We saw that in the preview, right? Restores his own ki by 50, increases arts card draw speed by 1 level for 15 counts, inflicts all enemies with no switching for 5 timer counts, applies the flying effects to enemy on hit, reduces Dragon Balls by 1. That's a 100% chance to activate, and destroys all green cards and blast armor. That's ridiculous. I'm actually going to pull up Jiren for a second. So this is a similar style of a green card to Jiren. This is a green card that is a lunging forward green card with blast armor, but it does not chain. So you can't start a combo with this. Jiren has another ridiculously powerful green card, but it's also one that doesn't chain and has blast armor. So he does no switching, strike damage, 100% vanish gauge restoration key, and he draws a full hand of cards. I would actually say Vegito's is probably a little better because of this. Did Jiren do that? Yeah, he does do that too, actually. Hold on, let me just see. It's tough. Whose is better? It's close. How often do you really see Jiren like abusing his green card? Not that often. I think people are gonna look at this and think this is like broken beyond belief when I don't think it's actually that broken. The card draw speed is nice because that's obviously going to continue after this green card is over. This is really annoying, reducing triangles by 1. I don't think this is something that's going to be broken though. You're going to see this like once a fight, if that. But yeah, the ultimate skill is God. Final Kamehameha deals massive impact damage, applies the following effects of self-bind activation, restores ki by 50, restores vanishing gauge by 100%. There it is. You know who else has that? Let me find this unit that I hate so much. Here we are. Guess what? It's literally a page out of Blue Bardoc's book. He gets card draw speed on the activation of his ultimate. Applies attribute upgrade, minus 50% enemy sustained damage cut, and blast armor. So remember, he's also getting the extra 50% damage when he uses his main ability. I feel like this might be something you want to just use to get your vanish back. I don't know if this is something you want to just wait to get a guaranteed kill on. This might be a strategic ultimate to use just to get your vanish back, but obviously it's going to do a ton of damage as well, and you get card draw speed too. Like resetting your vanishing gauge and then also getting card draw speed with the amount of damage this guy's going to be doing. Remember, he's going to be stacking up his special move damage. This is a really powerful ultimate right here. Then he holds 2 blasts, one that has ki recovery by 5. That's really good. And then he buffs Fusion Warrior, blast attack, then God Ki, and then future. So both blast attack and strike defense up to 35. So I really, really like this Vegito. He's looking really, really powerful, but on his teams, right, he's on 500,000 million teams, and by that I mean 4. Fusion Warriors, I don't think there's any competition for him being the purple unit here. I mean, Super Vegito is at some point going to get a Zenkai Awakening, and when that happens, we can talk about him taking the spot from this Vegito, but for now, this Vegito is definitely better than the old one. Saiyans, I mean, this Vegito doesn't really buff Saiyans. I don't really know if you want to run him on Saiyans. He's not limited in any capacity other than this, so I guess that's sort of coercing you to not use him on the Saiyan team, which I can understand, but I still think he'd be good on here. Probably wouldn't run him over UI Goku on the Saiyan team though. Future, I guess he's directly competing with Purple Vegeta, and then the Scythe Rose. I think he's definitely better than the Purple Vegeta. They fill different roles though. Purple Vegeta, like I said earlier, is a dedicated support unit, while this Vegito is mainly just damage dealing with a little bit of support there as well. Rose, I would probably say this Vegito looks better to me on paper easily than Rose, but we'll have to see in context how that actually is. And then for God Ki, I mean, it's a toss-up between him and UI Goku for the purple slot. I actually don't know who's better. I'm going to have to test him out in practice. Something is telling me this Vegito is going to end up being better than UI Goku, but we'll have to see. So that is going to wrap up this Vegito sort of overview here. Let me know down below what you guys think about Vegito. He seems really powerful to me. His kit seems like it's going to work seamlessly with everything going on. The synergy with itself is pretty high. So that's Vegito. I think we're going to go on to Zamasu next, so I'll see you guys all then.